Last week, there was a small get-together at my friend's house, just us 9 to 10 of his close friends. Now he invited one of his friends, Susan, 28F, and she brought along her brother, 30 meters, who none of us knew. My wife, 28F, was present there too. Her brother, Dave, was being weird with my wife from the get-go. Half the time he was there he was staring at my wife inappropriately and trying to touch her whenever he found her alone. She even asked me to hold her hand the entire time because he was making her uncomfortable. I told her we could leave if she wanted to, but she said she won't let a creep sabotage her evening. This was a bad decision on our part. Should have left earlier. I got a work call in the middle of the party, and my wife told me to take the call and assured me she would be fine with her friend, Lisa. When I came back after 5 minutes, I see Dave trying to talk to Lisa and my wife, and both of them looked very uncomfortable. Apparently he'd been trying to convince them to get inside the pool naked. I confronted him, and well, things escalated. He said some colorful words to my wife and Lisa, implied that my wife was totally leading him on before I came back. I physically shoved him away from my wife and Lisa. He retaliated, and not proud of this, but we got into a fist fight. It was all adrenaline and fists and punches. I raised my hand to punch him, gained enough momentum that it'd have knocked his teeth out, and all of a sudden, his sister, Susan, comes in front of him trying to shield him. And my fist hit her in the face. I apologized. I profusely apologized and even offered to take her to the hospital. I've never raised my hands on a woman and I never will. This was a fuck up and I was very ashamed of myself. Susan didn't accept my offer and neither my apologies. Dave took her to the hospital. The next day, she put up a story on Instagram about how I hit her, with a photo of her injury and her face. The story they're going with is that my wife and Lisa were totally hitting on Dave, and when I found out, I hit Susan out of anger. Now I've been getting threatening messages on my social media accounts. Someone even found my LinkedIn profile and messaged my company asking why they hired woman abusers. Lisa and my wife have tried to mitigate this disaster by posting the correct version of this story, but it looks like people have made up their minds that I'm an abusive asshole. Some have even messaged my wife asking her to divorce me or if I abuse her too, or why is she supporting someone who hits women. I contacted Susan through my lawyer and said that we're gonna sue for defamation and slander, that let's settle this in court, and that other people present at the party are ready to testify against her. Dave and her are now begging us to forgive them as they're very poor. Both have been unemployed since 2-3 years, and they're even ready to post on SM that they lied. My wife thinks that we should definitely sue them. Lisa thinks that a court case will really fuck them over and destroy their lives. I kinda agree with both of them. What should I do? Edit. I replied to a comment saying this, and since a lot of people think that I shouldn't have gotten into a physical altercation with the guy, I'll replay his exact words. Your wife was begging for my cock before you rudely interrupted us. This was when I shoved him away and then he threw the first punch. It escalated from there. I know this isn't a justification for the physical fight, but well, it is what it is.
If you can, take screenshots of any communications you've had with them, especially if it's them admitting to the lie. Whether you go ahead with the court case or not, people may still wonder afterwards if they only backed down because they were bullied into it because they couldn't afford a legal battle. Any tangible proof from them could help to clear your name on SM and with your employer, current or future, better than good reviews from your friends will.
And GT, Lisa thinks that a court case will really fuck them over and destroy their lives. Just like how being accused of beating a woman and having your employer messaged about it could fuck you and your wife over. Sue them to set the record straight. In a court of law.
They intentionally endangered your family by creating an internet scandal. Not only will no one believe a redaction, you will be dealing with this shit for years. Sue them. You won't get much, but your boss will see that the court sided with you. And hopefully your job won't be lost for this. Get off social media, your wife too, and start over. New phone hashes, new accounts, etc. They made their choices, you now have to protect yourself.
My instinct is that you should sue them. They blatantly lied in order to tarnish your name, and it resulted in people reaching out to the company you work for. You could have lost your job because of them. Had they not posted it publicly, then I would. Say no, but sharing it with probably hundreds of people shows they were being malicious, not just lying to defend themselves. Even if they post something admitting to their lie and apologizing, they might still go around verbally telling people otherwise. Or people might think that you threatened her, so now she's saying she lied so you don't hurt her. Suing them proves that there are consequences to their actions, and it'll give you a chance to show them, in court, how much their lie impacted you. If your wife is on board and you both can financially handle it, then go for it. Maybe just be prepared to take a light settlement at the end so you don't ruin them.
If they're saying they will post a retraction, have them do it, then sue them.
And GT, and they're even ready to post on SM that they lied. Only ready? You mean they haven't yet publicly apologized? These fucking pricks are still hoping to get away with it. You should sue them, and it should cost them everything.
Sue them. They deserve nothing less than to be raked over the coals for lying about you and trying to ruin your lives. They weren't forced to lie. They weren't forced to post lies. They did so because they thought they could ruin your lives and reputations without repercussion. They are only begging for mercy now that they are in jeopardy. They didn't care when it was they who had the upper hand. He behaved horrendously, she behaved foolishly. Don't interfere in a fight unless you accept that you may get hurt, and then they both lied and tried to fuck you over. He's a predatory creep and she's an enabler. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You didn't hit her, you tried to hit him and she got in the way. People need to realize that. If they want to get involved in a fight, they might get hurt.
Sue the ever-loving fuck out of him.
Are you really asking that? He sexually harassed your wife, fought with you, and then they tarnished your reputation. You should destroy their lives. Beating women is a horrible crime. So accusing a man falsely of being one is worse, because you are accusing an innocent and you are making fun of all the women who have suffered this. Do as your wife said and sue them. It is the only way to clean your name and teach this SC***MA lesson.
No mercy. This is how they learn. They had the opportunity to make it right and failed to do so.